All right, so we give praise, esteem, and honor to the Most High Yah, name of Yahushua HaMashiach this day. Pick this up in John chapter 5, verse 39. Search the scriptures, for in them you think you have eternal life. And there they will testify of me. And you will not come to me that you might have life. I receive not honor from men, but I know you, that you have not the love of Elohim in you. I come in my Abba's name, and you receive me not. Another shall come in his own name, him you will receive. How can you believe which receive honor one of another, and seek not the honor that comes from Elohim only? Do not think that I will accuse you. The Abba, there is one that accused you, even Moses, of whom you trust. For had you believed Moses, you would have believed me, for he wrote of me. But if you believe not his writings, how shall you believe my words? Proverbs 14:28. After that, Genesis chapter 1. Hey, turn around and focus. Give Yahuwah the same respect that you get in Caucasians when you go up in a stinking schoolhouse. You laughing. I'm not laughing. Because y'all too rude, you're too disrespectful, and you play too much. And I'm offended. I don't like it, I don't care for it, and you're not going to keep doing it. Now, if you want to play with somebody, you found the right one. Because I ain't playing with none of you. Because if you don't want to sit in here and listen, you're going to sit in that room in the dark, and you're going to look at the dark and look at the wall. Ain't nobody playing with y'all. And that's your problem. Y'all play too much, and you think people playing with you. And ain't nobody playing with you. You need to learn how to listen and follow instructions. If not, then you're going to suffer the consequences. Am I understood? Because if you've been in here playing, you're going to sit in that room in the dark. And you bet not whimper or shed nan tear. Because you did it to yourself. Proverbs 14:28. And the multitude of people is the king's honor, but in the want of people is the destruction of the prince. So let's take ourselves to Genesis chapter 1, if you would. We'll pick it up at verse 14. Buffin man. Find yourself somewhere to park it at. Now, as we ended earlier, we ended talking about the generations or the begetting of heaven. So we're going to pick this up in Genesis chapter 1 and verse 14. Elohim said, let there be lights in the firmament of heaven to divide the day from the night. Let them be for signs, for seasons, for days and years. And let them be for lights in the firmament of heaven to give light upon the earth, and it was so. So the first thing that I want us to look at is signs. We already talked about how they were for separation between day and night when we read what we read earlier in 1 John chapter 3, verses 4 through 9 or 4 through 10. But for signs, y'all know the word for signs, but it's oath, and it's a sign, it's a signal, or a distinguishing mark. So if we're looking at the stars being the sons of Elohim written upon the firmament and being his handiwork, what is the sign or the signal? Now, of course, the characters for this here is Aleph, U, and Tau. And I'll let you think on that. Why you think upon it? Because you just wrote it. Should you be looking over there or should you be looking up here? What y'all worry about him for? I want you to say this word with me, children. I want you to say oath. I want you to say Aleph. I want you to say U. I want you to say Tau. And what does that spell? Oath. So say it again with me, children. What is the word? And what are the characters? Aleph, U, and Tau. Would you like to know what Aleph means? It means strength, ox, and leader. Would you like to know what U means? It means nail. Would you like to know what Tau means? It means covenant or mark. So what's the word again, children? Close enough. Will you remember the characters again? What is the first one? What does the Aleph mean? What does the Aleph mean? Say ox, leader, strength. What does the U mean? Nail. There you say it with me. Nail. What does the Tau mean? Say it with me. Signal.
Signal.
Mark.
Mark.
Covenant.
Covenant.
What's the word again, children? Oh. What's the first character again? Olive. Ooh. Tau. What's the word again, children? Very good. Very good. Very good. You did very good, children. You did very well. Oh, that excites you, Muffin Man. So what y'all got when you think about that? Olive, ooh, and Tau. All we can sit back and look at that as the strength of this sacrifice is the mark. So I want you to come to John chapter 14. I want you to look at verse 15. From there, I want you to go to Acts chapter 2 and verse 30, maybe 27. Could be 30. John 14 and 15. It says, if you love me, keep my commandments, and I will pray the Father, he will give you another comforter, that he may abide with you forever, even the Ruach of truth. Children, I want you to say this word with me. Are you ready? I want you to say Ruach. Do you know what it means? It means breath. Say Ruach. Means breath. Do you know who gives breath? Yes. Yahuwah. Say Yahuwah gives the breath of life. Who gives the breath? Very good. Very good. He say, even the Ruach of truth, whom the world cannot receive, because they see him not, neither know him not, but you know him, for he dwell with you and shall be in you. I want you to look at something in regards to in Romans chapter 1, of why the world knows it not and sees it not. I'm over here to Romans chapter 1. Because if the world don't know Yahuwah, are they going to know his sons? Are they going to know his daughters? Very good, children. I want you to come to Romans chapter 1. I want you to pick it up to verse 18. Matter of fact, make it 16. Romans 1 and 16. It says, for I'm not ashamed of the gospel of Mashal, for it is the power of Elohim unto salvation to everyone that believes, to the Yahudim first, and also to the Greek. For therein is the righteousness of Elohim revealed from faith to faith, as it is written, the just shall live by faith. Right. Get this to you. For the wrath of Elohim is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men who hold the truth in unrighteousness. Because that which may be known of Elohim is manifest in them, for Elohim showed it unto them. Now pause. I want you to listen to what he's about to say. He say, for the invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power with the Elohim head, so they are without excuse. Now, what do y'all think that verse means in verse 20? I'll give you a second to think about it. I'll read it again. It says, for the invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead, so that they are without excuse.
Saying that you can see God in the things he created.
Absolutely. That's what we was looking at in Psalms 19 earlier. He said how the heavens declare his handiwork. Now remember, we're looking at the stars. So the stars were made of the things that were invisible, correct? So if they were made of the things that are invisible, which cannot be seen, that which are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made. Now, what is this telling me? It's telling us how to regard. Hey, Mordecai. No, sir. Pick your chin up for one. Y'all need to stop skinning and grinning and goofing. Because that room waiting for somebody to be there. It's waiting for an occupant. It's waiting for one. Stop playing all the time. Sit on your bottom. So when we look at that, right, the invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen. I want you to come to Hebrews chapter 11. and 1. And then we'll go to Acts 2. It said, now faith is the substance of things hoped for the evidence of things not seen. For by it the elders obtained a good report. Through faith we understand that the worlds were framed by the word of Elohim, so that the things which are seen, were not made of things which do appear. Now let me ask you this question. Are the sons of Elohim made by things of which can... Hey, no sir, sit down. You, down. You know what I said. Now, again, I say that the worlds were framed by the word, so that the things which are seen were not made of things which do appear. Can you see the thing that can make you a son of Elohim, but can you see a son of Elohim with your own eyes? You can see that. But what makes a man a son of Elohim? The word or the spirit. You cannot see the spirit. Let's take a see why we say that. John chapter 3 first, before Acts chapter 2. Hey, sit up. Sit up. No, ma'am. You better watch how you look at me. I care not for your attitude. Turn around and face front. Or you can go sit in that room in the dark. We'll go sit in the room in the dark then. That's what you want to do? Since you want to make faces? Yes. Don't worry about telling on nobody. Because if y'all got time to tell on somebody, I'm going to tell you to go sit in that room. I don't need nobody telling on nobody. Hey. I'm sorry, y'all. John chapter 3, man, verse 5. Go find your mom. Go sit with mom. Go find your mom. Go.
That's right. Hey, man.
Stanley, find yours too.
I'm here. No.
John chapter 3 and verse 5. Yahushua answered, truly, truly, I say unto you, except a man be born of water and of the Ruach, he cannot enter into the kingdom of Elohim. What do we look at when it spoke about the firmament? It said that the firmament it did what? It divided waters from where? From above it and beneath it. So why is that important? According to the gospel, why is it important about waters from above and waters beneath, and you can't enter the kingdom unless you're born of water and spirit? You got an idea? You got something? Water and spirit. That's what it said, right? Can't enter the kingdom without it. The firmament has waters divided. Waters above it, waters beneath it. How is that important and relevant? So you cannot enter the kingdom unless you were born of water and spirit. You got to remove the flesh. I like that answer. Any of y'all got an idea? It's relevant. I believe we went over it before. It's been many moons if we have. Well, born of a woman close enough, because that's the answer. You got to get the spirit from on high, from heaven, and you got to be immersed in the water on the earth. And that's why they separate. So let's take a look at that for a moment. Well, we don't even have to take a look at it, because that's simply what it is. Because you got the heavens, they got the waters that's above the firmament. And what does he describe that water coming down as? The what? Not just that, but the early and latter rain. And that got to come from heaven. And then in order for you to even receive the early and latter rain, what do you have to do? Acts chapter 2, verse 33. Or make it 29. We'll come back to John chapter 3. No. Up in man. Getting real saucy tonight, son. What you got going on? How you living today? Acts 2 and 29. Men and brethren, let me freely speak unto you of the patriarch David, that he is both dead and buried, and his sepulchre is with us unto this day. Therefore, being a prophet, and knowing that Elohim swore with an oath to him, that the fruit of his loins, according to the flesh, he will raise up a Mashal to sit on his throne. He seeing this before spake of the resurrection of a Mashal, that his soul was not left in hell, neither his flesh did see corruption. This Yahushua have Elohim raised up, wherefore we are all witnesses. Therefore, being by the right hand of Elohim, by the right hand of Elohim exalted, and having received of Abba the promise of the Ruach HaKadosh, he has shed forth this which you now see and hear. Now let me ask you this question here. This should be an easy one for you now. When did Yahushua get the waters from below and the waters from above? When did that occur for him, based off the template that we already said what those waters mean? When did it happen? Well, saying, Ladale. Now, nobody wants, but you don't want to do that. That's a man. I'll give you that. It happened at the same time when he got baptized. And if you wanted to add it on there, it happened when he rose from the dead. But it shows you the significance that when you get the waters from below, you can get the water from above. The water from below washes away the sins. The water from above quickens you to life everlasting. But that's why they separate. Also, another keynote why they separate is that everybody has the breath of Elohim on the earth, but everybody don't have the breath of Elohim from above. I remember I told my homegirl that many. She said, "But everybody's got the spirit." I said, "No, man." I said, "Everybody got his spirit because they got his breath in them. But everybody don't have that set apart spirit that gives unto everlasting life. Everybody don't have that." You know what I'm saying? That's why you got to be careful. People talking about they dealing with spirits. What kind? There's many spirits out here. And I'm going to tell you like this here. It's spirits that talk to people too. And just because a spirit talk to you don't mean it's the spirit of Elohim. And how we know a spirit of Elohim that talked to somebody, but that wasn't his spirit? If it's according to the word, but I refer to what happened with Ahab prophets, didn't it? Lion spirit went down there and told them bold-faced lie. It was a spirit. Wasn't a spirit from Yahuwah, though. Not for they good anyway. You wash your hands for them? No, you did. You went in there, doo-doo, and got up. Let me continue. He say, "For David is not ascended into the heavens, but he say himself, Yahuwah said unto my Lord, sit you on my right hand until I make your foes your footstool. Therefore let all the house of Yasharal know assuredly, the Elohim have made that same Yahusha whom you have crucified. Indeed, sir, you are correct. Lord and Mashiach." Now when they heard this, they were pricked in their heart, and said unto Peter and to the rest of the apostles, "Men and brethren, what shall we do?" Then Peter said unto them, "Repent and be immersed, every one of you, in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach for the remission of sins, and you shall receive the gift of the Ruach HaKadosh. For this promise is unto you and unto your sons, and to all that are afar off, even as many as Yahuwah your Elohim shall call." And with many other words did he testify and exhort, saying, "Save yourselves from this untoward generation." That's kind of stuff why we were talking about this afternoon. You got to deliver yourself from a froward and untoward generation. Because guess what? These people are birthed from a whole different set of loins. You understand? These people birthed from the loins of the devil. And it shows in every single solitary thing that they do. And you want to save yourself from it, or you're going to perish with it. John chapter 3. And why would you want to do that? That don't make no sense. Like we was reading earlier, the lust of the flesh gonna be a big reason why people perish. And I done told you many times before. And pride is probably if it's not before it, it ain't too far behind it. Because unbelief is right at the top of the list. Unbelief, the lust of the flesh, and pride are gonna be the biggest reason why people find themselves burning in hell. And pride probably is 1B, the unbelief. Because unbelief gonna be 1A. Hey, cuz, is you not gonna close the door? Close the door, son. Gonna pull himself out of all his glory. And he said, "No, I ain't gonna close." I said, "That boy, that wild. John got 3 verse 5. He ain't mean no harm." Yahushua answered, "Truly, truly, I say unto you, except a man be born of water and of the ruach, he cannot enter into the kingdom of Elohim. That which is born of the flesh is flesh, and that which is born of the ruach is ruach. Marvel not that I said unto you, you must be born again. The wind blow where it lists, and you hear the sound thereof, but cannot tell whence it come and whither it go. So is everyone that is born of the ruach." See, you can't see it, but it's evident that it appears. See, you can't see the thing that made you a son of Allah. Come to Ephesians chapter 4. From Ephesians 4, man, Isaiah 28. Hey, little girl. Hey, little girl. Hey, little girl. Come here. Come here. Go in that room. No. You lost that privilege. Go in that room. No. That one. Go in there. Yeah, go in there. Yeah, go ahead. No, don't cry now. No, don't cry. Because you should have thought about it before you did. Boy, did you flush that toilet, boy? Okay, go in that room. Go in that room. Why are you crying? Because you weren't crying when you were just playing. No. In there. Go in there. Open that door for her. Open that door for her and let her in. That door right there. That door. No. That one right there. Right there. God on in there. Go ahead, Naya. Go ahead in there. Go. Oh, it's locked. Oh, you had a reprieve. Go ahead and sit down. Oh, go ahead then. Now, you got saved because that door was locked. Next time you're going. You better sit still. Because I'm not playing with you. I ain't playing with none of y'all. While y'all sitting there skinning and grinning, I don't see nothing funny. Nothing is funny. Y'all completely rude and disrespectful to Yahuwah, and it's going to cease. I understand you, Gene. Thank you for sharing. Ephesians chapter 4, verse 20. We'll make that 19. Oh, talk. Who being past feeling have given themselves over to lasciviousness to work all uncleanliness and greediness. But you have not so learned Mashiach. If so be that you have heard him and have been taught of him, as the truth is in Yahushua. That you put off concerning the former conduct the old man, which is corrupt according to deceitful lust, and be renewed in the ruach of your mind, and that you put on the new man, which after Elohim is created in righteousness and true Kadash. See, that's what has to be done. You have to put on the new man. Now, as y'all know, we're approaching, right? New Year's is approaching, right? Which means what is approaching with it? Passover, correct? Now I want you to come to 1 Corinthians chapter 5, since I mentioned that. Just come to mind for me. I want you to come to 5 and 6. Because I just want you something that I want you to ponder upon and consider. Come on, cuz, stop it. Just give it to her. Sit down. You're about to suffocate. What you crying for?
Hey,
What you crying for? I don't understand. Hey, if you don't want to stop crying, that room is available. That room is available. Would you like to dwell there? Oh, would you like to dwell there too? Yeah, it's going to be more than the kids' room in a minute. It's going to be the room where hard-headed children who don't listen going to sit in the dark. First Corinthians chapter 5 and verse 6. Your scheming is not good. Know you not that a little leaven leaving the whole lump? Purge out therefore the old leaven, that you may be a new lump, as you are unleavened. Even the Mashal, our Passover, is sacrificed for us. Therefore, let us keep the feast, not with old leaven, neither with the leaven of malice and wickedness, but with the unleavened bread of sincerity and truth. Now, come on back here to verse 1 of this chapter. No. Don't ask me nothing. Don't tell me nothing. If you see me reading out this book, what should you not do? Do not interrupt me. I don't want to hear it. Thank you. It said it's reported commonly that there is fornication among you. And such fornication is not as much as named among the Gentiles, that one should have his father's wife. Now, this is not about that particular act per se. Who remembers what that definition for the word zanah, that fornication meant, that which did not pertain to harlotry or adultery? There was one particular statement definition for that word. Does anyone recall? It would be unfaithful to Elohim. So this is why he's coming back on the back end of this epistle letter and telling them that they need to purge out the old leaven because they weren't being faithful to Elohim. That's why I say to be a new lump. Because see, before you know Elohim, I mentioned this verse earlier, so come over here and come look at it. Ecclesiastes 7 and 20. Abigail, turn around, sit straight, stop playing. The next place you're going is in that room. Ecclesiastes 7 and 20. Yes, it is a book, son. There is not a just man upon the earth that do good and sin not. That's what it tell you, right? And in the book of, in another place in Proverbs, right? It say every man proclaim his own goodness, but what? A faithful man who can find? Because at the end of the day, we've all been judged to be unfaithful against Elohim. Now come back to 1 Corinthians 5 and 1, which necessitates the need to purging out the old leaven or removing off the old man. That necessitates the need. That's why you need the waters from above and below the firmament. You need the waters from below the firmament to cleanse you. You need the waters from above the firmament to quicken you. Without either, you cannot enter. And that's why he mentioned in water and ruach, because that's ruach above the firmament and it's water below it. You walk around here, ain't got nan time of neck. Verse 2. He say, and you're puffed up and have not rather mourned that he that have done this deed might be taken away from among you. For truly as absent in body, but present in ruach, have judged already, as though I were present, concerning them that have done so this deed. In the name of our Lord Yahushua HaMashiach, when you are gathered together in my ruach with the power of our Lord Yahushua HaMashiach, to deliver such as one under Hashatan for destruction of the flesh, that the ruach might be saved in the day of the Lord Yahushua. Now I'm gonna ask y'all this question. He said to deliver one to who? Who did he just say to deliver this person to? Say to deliver him to Satan or the adversary for the destruction of the flesh, that the spirit might be saved. Who can tell me what scriptural example do you have for this? There's a scriptural example of one being delivered to Satan for the destruction of the flesh, but for the preserving of the spirit, that they might be saved in the day of the Yahuwah. Huh? And you would be correct. Was not Job delivered over to the adversary? Was he not delivered over for the destruction of the flesh? What was Job's violation? He trusted in his own righteousness, so he justified himself over Elohim. Is that not what it said? And was he not spared in the day of his salvation before Yahuwah for his flesh to be destroyed? Because if he justified himself in his own righteousness, then what issue did he really have? He had a pride issue. And what was his pride? He felt like he was, this is why he tells you that salvation don't come on the law, because Job felt like Yahuwah owed him. Because I ain't did this, and I ain't did that, and I ain't did this, and this is happening to me. Why is this happening to me? You understand? And yeah, and you're right, Marquise, because then he also mentioned Yahushua, which is accurate, because he was delivered over to Satan. We read it Friday night.
Turn around.
When Hashatan entered into Judas, he was delivered over to the adversary for the destruction of the flesh, but for the preserving of the spirit. What does that mean? Also, at the same token, that takes us back to what? The briars and the thorns. Because the briars and the thorns would be the adversary, which are used to destroy your flesh, that you might be able to be spared at the last moment or in the last day. Because what we mentioned last night, who he used to humble you. He used wickedness to humble you. So that means he's going to use an adversary to humble you. Let's look at it this way. Who humbled David? Saul did. When you look at any person in the scripture who was a righteous man and they had to be humble, who else humbled David? Absalom was a wicked individual used for his humility. Thorns and briars. The examples are always there of what is used to purge and make one a son of Elohim. So what has to get them to that process? Yes, ma'am, that is correct. That is correct. So you have to look at that. You have to understand that. You have to see that. And he has something where he's basing that on. Let's come back to Genesis chapter 1 if we will. Did I get everything I want? I didn't finish. I did finish John chapter 3. Hey, be quiet. Stop playing. All that there, what you doing? Bird. Cut it out. You know, okay, because you're still doing it. All right. Yeah. So again, when we look at that, the oath for that signal or that mark, we see that that ruach is that mark. You see what I'm saying? That's the mark, because that's what he said that they would be for what, right? That the stars in heaven would be for what? For signs. So in order for them to be a sign, they have to have a mark. I want you to come over here to Isaiah chapter 8, because I almost forgot. Hey, you two must want to go in there. You must want to go. You too, Malia. You ain't got to go in there. I said, you need to stop. Sit down. Because you're over there playing. Eight and 16. Bind up, this is Isaiah 8:16. Bind up the testimony, seal Torah among my disciples, and I will wait upon Yahuwah that hide his face from the house of Jacob, and I will look for him. Behold, I and the sons Yahuwah have given me are for signs and for wonders, and Yasharal from Yahuwah of hosts, which dwell in Mount Zion. Now, what is this referring to? This is referring to the signs that he said will follow his apostles. Remember what Paul asked them people in Acts 19 when they had been baptized, had they received the Ruach HaKodesh, and they said no. And what baptism did they say that they only knew of? John. They said they had knew no thing of a Ruach HaKodesh. So when you look at that, the Ruach HaKodesh is a sign or a signal. What in the book of Ezekiel, who did he tell them not to destroy? People who had the mark. In Revelation, who did he say not to destroy? the people who had the mark in their forehead. This is the sign. This is a sign that you belong to Yahuwah. So, and if it's a sign, that means it's a mark or it's a covenant, and that's why the Ruach is important. You don't have it, then you're not in covenant agreement with the man. And if you're not in covenant agreement with the man, then he's not going to show you to say that you are a sign. Now, the next word is seasons. And I've already done used a lot of time and ain't got to what I need. God willing, that's for tomorrow. Now, y'all know the word for seasons, right? It's an appointed place, appointed time, or a meeting, and that's moed, right? You got meme, you got you got ayin and dalet. So what do you term again? You got meme, so now you have waters. You got now you've been secured to what? Or the word has secured the waters that come from this sacrifice. Because you're going to meet there at an appointed time. And what is that appointed time, sir? In gathering of tabernacles. Because these are the only people that he's going to gather. He's going to gather his sons. We read that earlier in Malachi chapter 3. He's going to make it discerning between those that are Elohim and those that are not. And this is going to be a multitude of people who have been honoring him. Therefore, it is to the honor of the king. Let's look at verse 15. Because we don't need today, we don't need Yom for days. Well, we could look at the character for us in my head. With that, you got Yad, and Meme. So again, when we see a constant theme, that Meme or the waters or that Ruach, that these are the things that are relevant for the sons of Elohim, that are these stars that are fixed in the firmament, that spirit is present. Hey, boy, stop being fresh. That's your blood. And you're going to sit there and let it. Sit up straight, Grandma. Sit up straight. Close enough. So when you look at that, and you got the work secures the spirit. Because what happened on you look at a day, he said this is the day of his death, and this is what occurred. And of course, you got years, and that's something neither here nor there. Let them be for lights in the firmament of heaven to give light upon the earth, and it was so. Now let's go back to Psalms 19. I want you to pick it up at verse 2. It says, day unto day utter speech, and night unto night show knowledge. There's no speech nor language where their voice is not heard. Their line is going out through all the earth, and the words to the end of the world, and in them he have set a tabernacle for the sun. Now look at what he said, right? The heavens are a dwelling place for the sun. Let's just look at this word for sun, if we would. We know what it is for tabernacle, but for sun we have shemesh. You got two shans and a meme. So you're going to have to be paired to the spirit of consumption. Or if it's the spirit of consumption, it's this right here. Matthew chapter 3. Matthew 3 and 11. Matthew 3 and 11. I indeed immerse you with water unto repentance, but he that come after me is mightier than I, whose shoes I am not worthy to bear. He shall immerse you with the Ruach HaKodesh and with fire. In Isaiah chapter 4, he said that he would come through Jerusalem and purge. What did he say he would purge with? No, even in 5. Let's look at it. Isaiah chapter 4 and verse 4. I'm trying to recall the place you talking about the threshing floor. It's not Isaiah 4, but I don't know what place it is. But the chapter escaped my mind at this time. I want to say that's in Amos. Make that Isaiah 4 and 2. Hey, bop in that room then. How about that? Hey, come here. Come here. Not you. Because I'm tired of you looking at me like that. Because I ought to slap that expression off your face. I don't know who you think you are. Ain't nobody scared of you. Roll your eyes and make a face one more time. Now, don't try to look cute now. Keep that same energy you got. Being disrespectful. Your attitude. Two and nothing. Two and you. How about that? I ain't playing with you. I ain't playing with you either. You happy? Okay. Isaiah 4 and 2. In that day shall the branch of you who will be beautiful and esteemed, and the fruit of the earth shall be excellently and comely for them that are escaped of Yasharal. And it shall come to pass that he that is left in Zion and he that remain in Jerusalem shall be called Kadash, everyone that is written among the living in Jerusalem. When the Lord shall have washed away the filth of the daughters of Zion, and shall have purged the blood of Jerusalem from the midst thereof by the ruach of judgment and by the ruach of burning. And we already know, what does fire do? It purifies. It gets everything out. And what did he say he'll take you through? The furnace of affliction, which is what? The thorns and the briars of what is need to purge. That's why you have to be disciplined and you have to be chastened. Because you have to be purged. So you don't never really know what's in you till you get to the chastening. And again, chastening is not always necessary to the extent of physically placing your hands on someone. Like, of course, you take chastening, you take a child, and you spank them, or whatever the case may be. That doesn't necessarily have to be the only means of chastening, because one of the definitions of chastening is reproof or discipline. The purpose of discipline and reproof is to correct in order for that behavior to be removed. It's not always to the point of, bomb, I hit you and here's the penalty. That's the same thing they do in prison. Prison is technically, according to their laws or their verbiage, which we know is a lie, it's supposed to be a place of discipline or correct. That's why they call it what? The Department of Corrections. Because you're supposed to be getting corrected. This is supposed to be getting out of you. But it's really a place of punishment. See, there's a difference between correction and punishment. Punishment serves no purpose other than to inflict injury for an offense. Correction's purpose is for you to correct a misdeed, so no, you no longer do it. This is one of the reasons why the woman, when she was caught in adultery, he said, no man condemn you, neither do I, because that was for correction and not punishment. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference. You punish someone, you're not trying to correct them. You're trying to show them that there is a consequence for what you have done. And therefore you have to suffer. Usually when someone gets punished, they already knew that what they were doing was wrong. And then you already had an opportunity to correct that behavior and you chose not to, therefore you're being punished. See, our people are being punished. You already passed the point of correction. You had opportunities at correction and you rejected them. So therefore you had to be punished. See, people, when they go to hell, they already had their opportunity for correction. Now they're being punished. Ain't no more correction. See, when you get punished, ain't no correction. Nobody wants to talk. Like if you get sentenced to death row, is that a correction? No, that's over with for you. Opportunity for correction is complete. But prison is just a warehouse. But that's another conversation for another time. That's a monetary thing. What I listening? Because that nigga Vlad be talking. That nigga just be talking for no reason sometimes. And he said, son, I forgot what it was, but somebody was like, that was Lord Jamar told you, they make a lot of money from prison. He was like, nah, they don't make a lot of money. I'm like, shoot, the lies you tell. Either you just woefully uninformed or you just talking. They make a lot of money from you being in prison. And most of y'all already know that. But they don't make money how you think they make money. You know, they make money by trading your name and your instruments on the stock exchange. Because we all know, and if you didn't know, you can look at this up for yourself, that all criminal offenses are commercial offenses. So you go to court, the judge is a banker. You're supposed to be someone who is skilled in the laws of finance. When you go in there and bring in a lawyer, you have told the judge that you are mentally incompetent to handle your own affairs. You know what I'm saying? Every criminal offense you have has a monetary amount attached to it. And if you can't pay that monetary amount, that's why they lock you up. According to the Code of Federal Regulations, prisons are considered to be commercial warehouses holding commercial goods, i.e. human beings. This is in the law, but you look at stuff for yourself. This is not me theorizing. This ain't no conspiracy theory or nothing a nigga talking about from a YouTube video. This stuff that I read for myself in law books while I was incarcerated. You know what I'm saying? You can get you the Code of Federal Regulations. You can read it for yourself. You can get you the United States Code. You can read it for yourself. You can go get you Florida State Statute, book 660. You can read it for yourself. Now take that back. 670. You can read it for yourself. Now go back to what I was telling y'all last night. Who got time to sit down and go read law books? You know what I'm saying? Who got time to go do that? How many of y'all ever thought in your life, let me go read a law book? How many of y'all ever thought about, let me go read the Code of Federal Regulations and see what's in it? I wonder what's in the United States Code. You went to go take a dump and you took a book with you. You think you was going to get on your phone and pull up the United States Code and read that? They know you not. And that's why you uninformed, and that's why they can exploit you. Because you have no idea of what they're doing. Can you stop what they're doing? No, you cannot. But it makes you to be aware and cognizant of the reality that you're around so you can have the proper perspective and move accordingly. Like I told you, when I was in prison, I love sports, man. I enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? But I remember we were sitting there and Batal was like this here. I say, bro, at the end of the day, in the grand scheme of life, bro, this junk don't mean nothing, man. Because he was like, oh, that's why the Jaguars lost, nigga. I'm like, nigga, it's just a game. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't never been emotionally invested in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, watch the game. Should I hope the niggas win? But at the end of the day, if they lose, I mean, that has no bearing on my life. If they win a championship, ain't nobody bringing me a ring and ain't nobody cutting me no check. And matter of fact, when I say we won a championship, I got to spend $29.99 on the t-shirt to say that we won a championship. Because he ain't bringing me no t-shirt. They ain't mailing me one. When they lose, I ain't lost nothing. You know what I'm saying? I done seen dudes in there knock niggas out because they team lost. They mad. They want to fight. You know what I'm saying? They ain't even gambled and lost nothing. They just mad. You know what I'm saying? It's not that serious. You got to have the proper perspective. Now we know this stuff is staged. It's scripted. This, that, there, and the third. You know what they used to call it. What they call baseball? That's all sports is. It's a pastime. All it is a pastime. That's all it's for. Yeah, I can't watch baseball like I used to. I can sit through 9 innings and not change the channel, and I can't do it no more. But I'm just saying to keep that as in proper perspective. Because at the end of the day, everything is a distraction to stop you from becoming who you're supposed to be. And that's a son or daughter of the living Elohim at the end of the day. Matter of fact, since I mentioned that, 2 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 14. Because we got one more piece to go, and I don't want to go too long this evening. I don't know why I thought I'd be able to complete this in 45 minutes. I mean, I'd be knowing it'd be a lot. But then when I get started, I'd be like, I underestimated it. Y'all know I do that regularly, so I don't know why you shocked. You know what I mean? You already know. I've been thinking I can get all that into this period of time, and then I'd be like, you know what? You're not gonna make it. 6 and 14. He said, be you not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship have righteousness with unrighteousness, and what communion have light with darkness? See, that goes back to what the stars were for, to separate the light from the day, and to be for signs, and for seasons, and for days, and for years. So there's a separation between us and them. What did Peter say? Save yourself from who? This untoward generation. Because we have to make a difference between us and them. That's for the esteem of the king. That you not like them. Not only that you don't live like them, but you don't think like them. You know what I'm saying? Period. Let me tell you something, man. Y'all already know because I talked about it a couple weeks ago. What that book tell you, as a man thinketh, so he is. You think like a son of Elohim, what you gonna be? I don't care what it is. If you think you can't do something, you can't do it. If you're not confident in yourself, you're not gonna be confident. However you think about yourself, it's gonna reflect on the outside. And that ain't nobody's else's responsibility to change how you think and feel about yourself. That's your responsibility. Because is it a man's job to help strengthen and encourage this woman? Absolutely. But it's only so much that he can do. Because he can tell you you're beautiful. He can tell you you're smart. He can tell you you're great. He can point you and put you in positions where you can do stuff. He can tell you you can do this, that, and the third. But if you don't believe it, it don't matter what he says. If Yahuwah tell you he loved you and he sent his son down here and the manifestation of flesh to redeem you so that you could be one with him, but if you don't believe that you're worthy of that, then you'll never make a move again. If you go to think about why me, don't worry about why you. Because ain't none of us worthy of it. Everybody on this planet can say, why would Yahuwah save me? So you're not alone. You don't need to get caught on that. See, that's also low self-esteem. Why would he love me? See, I used to tell you that when we were younger, man. And I used to see dudes try to love girls that were hoes, and them hoes used to look at them like, nigga, this nigga's a lame. Treat them like trash. Because they felt like, why would anybody treat me better than what I believe that I am? So since he's trying to do that, I'm not going to respect him. Because I'm a low down, dirty whore. This is how she see herself. Whether she's that or not is irrelevant. That's how she see herself. So when she see you trying to treat her as a human being and how a woman's supposed to be treated, she'll go, oh, this nigga's a simp. He's a square. I'm finna get over him. I don't respect him. That's how we see Yahuwah. You see yourself as low down, dirty, no good sinner. Why would Yahuwah love me? So when he extend that hand of love towards you, you feel like you could play with him any kind of way. Because you don't respect him for trying to love you because you don't feel like you're worthy of it. And that's a you problem. You know what I'm saying? You have to know that what would make a person think that they're not worthy enough to be loved? You know what I'm saying? You know where that stuff comes from? Why people feel that way? Because they don't feel like people didn't give them the love that they needed and required in their youth. So then you grow up and you feel like, since they didn't love me, I ain't worthy to be loved. So therefore you don't allow people to do so. That's how pride and destructive behavior gets birthed. See, people who are raised with love, you know the difference between people who are raised with love and people who are not? People who are raised with love usually are very, very confident. They're usually very, very confident. They're confident because they know it's somebody who cared about them. They're confident because it was somebody who loved them. Therefore, it manifests. The average person in this world, ain't nobody love them like they were supposed to. So since ain't nobody love them like they were supposed to, they don't love themselves. So therefore, they walk around and they have a very, very low view of themselves. And they take themselves through a lot of unnecessary things. Sir, 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 sir. Where is your neck? And that manifests on how we feel about Yahuwah. We don't feel like Yahuwah should love us. That's why we reject it. That's why people run from it. That's why people say his love is oppressive. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. And people say some people feel the Bible is oppressive. Dumbest thing I ever heard. And y'all already know who I usually hear that from. Women. Now, why do some of y'all women think people feel like the word is oppressive to women? Why do some of y'all feel that women feel that way? From your perspective as a woman, because I can't speak from the perspective. Huh? What about you? Both of y'all. I mean, y'all are women on it. I'm not talking to you. I'm just asking your perspective because I can't speak from the perspective of knock on the door first. Somebody in there. Quiet. What y'all got to talk about? Huh? Now y'all heard that in there? Little Muffin, Deidre, Nisha. I need you to come so you can hear what I said. You too, Lisha. Yeah, I'm just asking why.
That's not from my perspective.
Kira said because they can't do nothing but lay up and push out babies, and they want to run dressing how they want to dress rather than being regulated.
Right.
She said that's her perspective from what she sees from other women. Yeah, because I always see women say that the scriptures are oppressive. So I'm just asking because I've never heard a man say the book is oppressive unless he was trying to impress a horse woman. Muffin, somebody
It don't be like long.
Go in that room. Everybody go. No, everybody go. Everybody go. I didn't ask you what you want to do. Go. Everybody go. Everybody go. Everybody go. Everybody go. You two, go. You go too. You too, Muffin Man. You go too. Go on, Eugene. Go.
I feel like it don't call for men to like strip themselves. I mean they do, but I feel like a lot of stuff you have to give up like
Like what?
I feel like a lot of physical things that we're used to doing. So it makes women feel oppressed. I mean I oppressed when you tell me to take my week.
Muffin. Little Muffin. The bathroom is free. You can go now.
No.
You felt oppressed? Because you had to take that dog hair out your scalp?
It wasn't I did.
Allegedly.
I just feel like this is not okay.
Allegedly, it wasn't dog hair. You don't know what it was.
It might be.
They had to sacrifice all manner of demons in it. What about you, Muffin and Deidre and Kalisha? From y'all perspective, why do you feel like women say that the scripture is oppressive? Because I only see women say this. Oh, so you like to wear cat suits in the street? Oh my God! Thank the Lord. Pardon me for me. Be quiet. That's what happened when you don't listen. I did. Sit down. Because you know why all y'all in there? Since one person didn't want to listen, and I kept saying it, everybody gets it. Maybe next time y'all learn how to behave. And again. So, hey, we've been down this road. We've been down this road, Nisha. We know you wanted to wear your dog hair. We know you wanted to wear your Chinese pants on your eyes. She didn't even have Chinese fans. She had old lady church fans on her eyes. She was gonna fly away if she blinked too fast. But Muffin and Deidre, you go ahead.
What I was saying was, my perspective is not that oppressive. I feel like women that came in is more so oppressive to them, and I probably understand they come in with a man, and the man tells them and they got married. I don't feel like they're coming in like who did, like I'm trying to serve y'all, I'm trying to please y'all. No. This is the angle that I'm taking. Like, that's where your heart is saying I don't feel. But now it's, oh, I gotta come with this nigga doing, oh, this nigga telling me what to do, man. And naturally, that's how I want to feel.
I can see that. Ariel. Muffin. That is unacceptable. I will not allow it.
Yeah.
Trying to steal her answers. I don't have any evidence to support that claim. I'm gonna let them out when we get finished. Though. All right. I just appreciate that. I just be wondering. I just seen a lady say that, I think, yesterday or today. Some women find the Bible oppressive. I'm like, well then. I think the most part oppressive probably mixing what she said and what you said. Like, oh, you said that first. Nigga telling them what to do, they don't like it. That'd be the main thing I think for most of them. A man telling them what to do and they don't like it. What y'all think? Verse 14 or 15. And what concord have Mashiach with Belial? What part have he that believed with an infidel? And what agreement have the temple of Elohim with idols? For you are the temple of the living Elohim. As Elohim has said, I will dwell in them, I will walk in them, I will be their Elohim, and they shall be my people. Wherefore come out from among them and be you separate, saith Yahuwah, and touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you, and will be a father unto you, and you shall be my sons and daughters, saith Yahuwah Almighty. So having therefore these promises, dearly beloved, let us cleanse ourselves from all filthiness of the flesh and spirit, perfecting Kadash in the fear of Elohim. I want you to come to Daniel chapter 12, and this is where we'll conclude for this time being. And we'll pick this up, y'all willing, tomorrow afternoon and go from there. Daniel chapter 12 and verse 1. Don't worry about that, baby. You need to worry about it. At that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which will stand for the children of your people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time your people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book. Many of them that sleep in the... Don't worry about it. Don't even worry about it. Hey, all y'all come here and come sit right here. Let's go, now. Get over here and sit down, everyone. Sit down over here. Over here. Over here. Even until that same time, at that time your people shall be delivered, everyone that be found written in the book. Many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some to everlasting shame and contempt. They that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament, and many of that turn many to righteousness as the stars forever and ever. Now we're going to ponder on this word brightness as we get ready to roll on out of here. Why are you talking? The word is Zohar. And of course, you know it's shining or brightening. It's Zayin, it's Hay, and it's Rosh. And think upon that for a moment before we get out of here. Because this is shining. When Mashiach transfigured, he was what? He was shining, was he not? When Yahushua rose from the dead, they saw him as a light, or he was shining. So Zohar is the word. Its brightness is shining. Zayin, Hay, and Rosh. Was it her?
I wasn't right.
Zayn, Hay, and Rosh. Let's look at Zayn and let's see what we will use. Got plowing tool, harvest food, fruitful, cut off. We'll just go ahead and come on this one here and say fruitful. And we'll just simply like to look at the how got Hay and we got Rosh. So Yahusha is fruitful to the highest. How was he fruitful to the highest? By producing seed. Because these are these stars that shine as the brightness in the firmament. You already read in Genesis chapter 1, right? It said the stars are for lights in the heavens, right? Well, that's the brightness of the firmament. Or you're the brightness of Yahuwah on the earth. So the last thing that we'll look at, Yah willing, on the morrow, is the completion is the stars being affixed to the base. Because I called for Isaiah 28 and we didn't get there. You are willing, we'll get to it tomorrow. So hallelujah for y'all. So I'm going to stop right there. I appreciate y'all. We'll pick this up tomorrow. You who are willing at 2 o'clock p.m. 2 o'clock p.m. on tomorrow. Should be the last installment of this and we can move on. The multitude of what we're seeing is the multitude of all those who will be saved. The multitude of people that Abraham was told of that he would see in the heavens in Genesis chapter 15. The multitudes that were seen in Revelation chapter 7. All those multitudes are pointing to the honor of the king because they honor the king. Therefore, the king is honored. You know, and I ain't got to the point of what I wanted to get to, and that would be Psalms chapter 2. So y'all can go ahead and read Psalms chapter 2 on your own, because we'll look at it, so you can already be prepared. Psalms chapter 2 also has a corresponding promise in the book of Revelation. I have no desire for that, but thank you for offering. So, okay, very welcome. So it mentions on this day, you are my son, I have begotten. The same token that you see that he tells you that the generations in heaven. And on what day were the stars made? But on the fourth day, if I'm not mistaken. And that was the day that they were begotten, or in the midst of the week, like it says in the book of Daniel. This is the day that you were born. This is the day that you became the son of Elohim. The day that this man was put to death and rose from the dead is the day that you were born. See, if you were in Mashiach and slain with him from the foundation of the world, you still weren't a son of Elohim until he was slain and rose from the dead, and that day you were born. But you had already been affixed to that foundation before the world was even made. Those stars, like I told y'all before, you have to consider it. Hey, come here. You, and you. Come here. Let me see your hand. I didn't get it, though. Get a pass. Let me see your hand. Go sit down. Oh, come on. Come on. Come here. Come here. Come on, Eugene. Come on. Get out of bed. Come here. Come here. Come here. Get up. No. Come here, boy. Come here. Not you. Not you. Here. Eli. Not you. Let me see your hand. I ain't see you, Gene, so that's why I didn't point him out. I didn't see him. I just see him. I mean, I ain't see him either. So. I just seen them three. You got a pass though. Shalom, man. So, and we looking at all of that, man, and it's just the purpose of that's how the king is honored. Because what did he end in Psalms chapter 2? He told you to do something specific. He told you to kiss the son. Honor him. Remember what the Yahusha told you. Whoever honor him, his father will honor. So in a multitude of people, that's to the king's honor because these multitude of people honor him and therefore they honor the Father. So again, hallelujah for Yahushua. You who are willing, we pick it up on tomorrow at 2 p.m. And until that time, I say, hey, hush it up, boy. Around here sounding like Chewbacca.
Oh, yeah, no, no, stop.